We're entering that time of year where everyone starts talking about summer. School is ending, vacations are getting planned, calendars are shifting, and I think a lot of women quietly hope maybe this summer will finally feel different, more restful or more connected, more alive. But if we're honest, many women finish summer just as exhausted as they started it, sometimes even more exhausted. And I've been thinking a lot lately about why restoration doesn't happen automatically and why so many thoughtful, capable women struggle to actually feel replenished, even in seasons that are supposed to feel lighter. So today, I want to talk about how to create a summer that actually restores you. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Welcome to the Power to Flourish podcast, where science meets the art of a beautiful life. I'm Dr. Andrea Line, positive psychologist, giftedness expert and coach, and modern-day spiritual godmother to brilliant, deep-feeling women. This isn't just another self-help podcast. It's a sanctuary, a sacred space to come back to yourself. Each week, we'll explore the emotional experience of gifted, sensitive women and what it means to live a life that feels as beautiful as it may look. Because flourishing isn't a luxury, it's your birthright, and your life is waiting. This is the Power to Flourish podcast. So I think summer carries a lot of emotional symbolism for people, even as adults. There's this feeling of maybe life will slow down, maybe I'll feel lighter, maybe I'll finally be more present, maybe there'll be more room to breathe. Have you thought these things? And especially for mothers, there's often this complicated mix of excitement and pressure. You want it to feel fun. You want your kids to have memories, right? You want to enjoy the season and you want to feel connected. But then reality hits. Suddenly, there are camps and schedule changes and more people home all day and planning and logistics and travel and disrupted routines and trying to coordinate everything for everyone. And somewhere inside all of that, lo and behold, many women quietly disappear from their own lives, at least just a little bit. And I honestly think one of the hardest things for thoughtful, capable women is that we become so accustomed to functioning that we stop noticing how depleted we actually are. We adapt to exhaustion. We normalize overstimulation. We convince ourselves that if we can just get through this next season, then we'll finally rest. But then we carry the exact same internal pace into the next season too. And I've really been thinking about that lately. How many women are waiting for life to slow down enough to finally feel present while continuing to build lives that never actually allow presence? I think one of the most important realizations for me personally has been this: restoration is not accidental anymore. Modern life does not naturally move toward rest. It moves toward stimulation. It moves toward noise and convenience and productivity, accessibility, consumption, constant input. And if we're not careful, we carry that energy into every part of our lives, including the seasons that we hoped would restore us. I notice this in myself sometimes too. Even when I genuinely want rest, there's still this impulse to maximize everything, to fit more in, to make everything meaningful, or maybe it's, make everything productive depending on the week. It's like we're trying to optimize the experience at times. I can definitely fall into that trap. And honestly, I think a lot of women approach summer with that same exact energy. We unintentionally turn it into another thing to manage, quote unquote, successfully. Like it's another thing that we have to do well, another season to perform correctly. It's crazy, right? And then we wonder why we still feel so tired. I also think many women are not resting from a neutral baseline. They're resting from chronic depletion, if that, which means a weekend away may not magically restore you. A vacation may not magically restore you because exhaustion is not always solved by escape. Sometimes what we actually need is a different way of living. We need more margin. We actually need to build in more spaciousness. We have to deal with whatever it is inside of us. So there's less internal urgency and less pull for like the constant stimulation coupled with more intentional nourishment. So lately I've been thinking maybe the better question for summer isn't what do I want to do this summer? Although that's fine if you want to ask that. But maybe the better question is how do I want to feel this summer? And I really want you to actually pause and think about that. Not theoretically, not in the abstract, quite literally. How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel more calm this summer? Do you want to feel more connected, more playful, more alive, more rested, more joyful, more intellectually engaged, more present in your actual life? Because if you don't intentionally decide what you want the season to feel like, your calendar, I promise, will decide for you. And summer goes fast. I don't need to tell you this. You know, we're going to blink our eyes and it will be September, right? And every year people say that, but it's true. I know I'm going to say it. Like suddenly it's August and everyone is exhausted and school is starting back again. And there's this feeling of like, wait, where did it go? What just happened? So I think part of creating a restorative summer, if that is what you want, is becoming honest about what actually nourishes you. This is not what looks good online or what you see someone else doing. It's not even what you think you should want. It's asking yourself what genuinely helps you feel more like yourself. And I want to say this very carefully because I don't want this conversation to become another impossible standard for women. Like we have enough of that, right? I am not talking about creating some perfectly aesthetic summer. We get tricked into thinking there's like this perfect image out there. I am talking simply about intentionality. These are really small choices. They are the rhythms. They are the space you build in. And restoration is often built through very, very ordinary things like leaving margin in your week or maybe in your day, saying no to some things, not piling everything into the calendar. Maybe, like going on evening walks after dinner, giving yourself a little more time to read or be outside or play around in the garden or whatever, letting there just be unstructured time. Maybe it's protecting your sleep. Maybe for you, it's listening to music, putting your phone down more often, having a slower morning when possible. What are the simple things? The simple, free things usually that help you reconnect to yourself. And honestly, I think one of the hardest things for many women is guilt. So even when you do get time to rest, is this true for you? Do you struggle to actually receive it? Like so many women I work with, they say they need help and they want more rest or they want more time to recover. But then when they get that time or when they get that opportunity, they have a hard time receiving it. They feel guilty. And then they feel guilty and they don't really enjoy it. There's this feeling that you should always be doing something useful, like improving something, like all the projects that are around the house. Again, I understand this. I am you. I get it, right? Like you've got to manage something. Or maybe it's not even that. It's like helping someone, right? We want to be helpful to other people. And all of these are fine things, as standalone things in our lives. But human beings just cannot flourish without restoration. We have to find ways to recover. And I think many women, so many women, are starving. We are starving for beauty and spaciousness and quiet and presence without even fully realizing it. So maybe today this is simply an invitation. Before summer is in full gear, before the calendar fills itself completely, before the momentum of the summer energy takes over, I invite you to pause and ask yourself, what would it look like to create a summer that actually restores me? Not perfectly, not performatively, but honestly. What helps me feel more alive? more connected, more like myself, because summer will pass either way. And it is going to pass real quickly, especially if you're at my age. And I think the real question is whether you want to arrive at the end of it feeling depleted, maybe once again, or feeling a little more nourished by your own life. And honestly, this desire for a more restorative, intentional, spacious summer is a huge part of why I created the Summer Sanctuary this year. I wanted to create a space for thoughtful women like yourself who are just craving a little more connection to themselves in the middle of very full lives. I understand. And sometimes we know what we need to do or what we should do, but it's just hard to do it and implement it on our own. So if that resonates with you, I will leave information on that in the show notes. And next week, we're going to continue in this summer energy planning mode. And I want to talk more specifically about beauty and why I don't actually think beauty is a luxury at all. And I'm going to share some of the very, very concrete, practical things I'm personally prioritizing this summer to create more of that restoration and space for creativity and aliveness in my own life. So tune in next week for some really practical ideas. I can't wait to see you next week. And until then, keep flourishing. Thank you for listening to the Power to Flourish podcast. I hope today's conversation left you feeling more seen, more supported, and more deeply connected to yourself. And if this episode resonated, would you take a moment to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a friend? It's one of the best ways to help this work reach the women who need it most. You'll find show notes, links, and resources from today's episode at powertoflourish.com. And now just a quick reminder, this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not therapy, medical advice, or a substitute for professional support. And listening doesn't make me your therapist or doctor, though if you're looking for a coach, you know where to find me. All right, beautiful one, that's it for now. Until next time, trust yourself, honor your gifts, and keep flourishing.